First and foremost, prayers for those in the East Palestine Ohio region, as well as people in the western part of Pennsylvania and those in the northern part of West Virginia. If you're not up to date, a train crashed in East Palestine, Ohio, causing a ton of chemicals to be burnt and evaporate and explode into the air in the environment, causing health concerns for those in the East Palestine, Ohio area, people in the western Pennsylvania area, and those in the northern West Virginia area, because East Palestine sits right on the border of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and not too far from that northern region of West Virginia. The chemical that got released during this explosion was a vinyl chloride. That vinyl chloride is a very, very toxic and dangerous chemical. It only takes 8 degrees, yes, 8 degrees Fahrenheit for it to boil. So what happened is, when that train crashed, it exploded and burst into the air. And when it did explode, it caused chlorine, unfortunately, to be pushed into the atmosphere. This was not only a problem for the people of those regions, but it also caused deaths and health problems for the fish, chicken, and livestock in the area, along with people. Now, officials said it is safe to return to the homes of people in that region, but people in that region are still reporting dead livestock, dead fish, and other animals having issues, and people themselves still were feeling respiratory issues and problems while there. Now, I'm not here to downplay anyone's health or the health of any animal or the life of any animal or person. But to me, what makes the situation worse is that it could lead to even more inflation or even more bottleneck issues when it comes to supply chains. Why? Because that area that got affected with those dangerous chemical clouds was a high farm area. So we are already dealing with inflation when it comes to eggs, bread, milk, chicken. Everything was already rising as is. So when you get this in that situation where now we're gonna have an area where we cannot access for farmland and we cannot take in any of those products. Why? Because they're contaminated. The chemical that got released attaches to water vapor. So since it attaches to water vapor, not only does it get into the air, it gets into the rain, it gets into the grass, it gets into the water supply. So that's why the fishes are dying. That's why those animals are having problems. And if they're having problems, we cannot touch that area. And it may be a long time before that area is even clean, and we just don't know. So for me, that's a real big issue and something I'm worried about. Another big issue is that it can actually travel to other states. As you see, since it's in the water, it can travel what? Downstream or even upstream, but really the problem is downstream with the Ohio River. And if it gets into those areas, then now we don't really know what other areas or states are contaminated, other agricultures or farmlands or other people or place of residence could be affected. And that's the last thing we need as Americans. Even more health issues and even more inflation and more price rising. It's the last thing we need. I know I'm not the only one that's getting tired of it. Hey, thanks for tuning to the Trading Block. I'll see you guys next week.